Guys, RIB here. Now today I want to talk about change. So change, right? So yesterday I did a masterclass with Illuminate, and I was giving the masterclass. It was about change, right? And just a quick shout out to Heidi and Emil. Great tribe, great group that you've created. Can't wait to see how far you're going to go, because it looks like it's going to go to the stratosphere and beyond. Awesome. Talk about change. So in the masterclass, I brought up a couple of different things. Now, firstly, I let them know that no one avoids this, right? So all of us who want to grow, who want to become something else, who want to be better, more mastery, right? We all go through this process as well, right? It's not just we can teach and then we say, oh, we're good. We don't do any of this self-development stuff. It's not like that, right? We do it ourselves. We do the work. So, for example, I'm in a position now where I also need to let go of things from the past to have a different future, right? So change is about that. It's about, letting go of things in the past, cutting the anchor, cutting the tie, to step into, right, our greater self in the future. As I mentioned to the guys, I'm going through this as well. So the first thing which I said to them, just passing on gifts, passing on insights. So one insight, or a few insights for me, go like this. So the first one is connected to your why. So why is it that you want to step into a new version of you? Because if that why isn't strong enough for you to really want to do it, then none of this is going to work. There's a great poem, a great line from my favorite poem by Goethe, and it goes like this, right? The moment one truly commits oneself, then providence moves too. The moment one truly commits oneself, then providence moves too. Now, providence is not only the place in America, New England coastline, but providence in this example means that when you truly commit yourself, then God moves too. God is meant in this particular case by, it's like the universe conspires to put things in your way, things in your road, through which, by doing that thing, you obtain the thing that you're going for, right? So through doing that, through going through that thing, through accepting, through taking on that thing, through that window, like opening a door, that's how you walk through to get into, that version of you that you want to become, the possibility of you that you want to become. So for me, for example, right, so the last 3 or 4 days, I've got, like quite a few, about 3 or 4 invitations. One is like past life regression, another one is like transformation exercise, and there's another 2, right? Now, which I will take up on, right? So I will choose one of them. But here's the thing. So the first thing is your why. Why? Having and connecting to a very powerful why. You need that. It's like rocket fuel. It adds the fuel to power you, right? So you need a very strong why. Other reasons for my why, for example, is that, there's people that have helped me in my life, people that have supported me and assisted me in my life, and I don't want to let them down, right? I don't want to let them down. I have a family to take care of. I don't want to let them down. I've got people which I gave a promise to. I don't want to let them down, right? So I need to step into, right, a bigger version of me. And if I can locate a why that is bigger than me, then it adds even more power to it, right? So that's my why. All right, so what did I explain next? Awareness of where I am now. So I went through, just wrote down very simply, the different areas of my life, right? Health, wealth, happiness, right? Relationships, friendship circles, right? So where am I exactly in those areas? Out of 10, where am I at? Being honest, where am I at? Because I need to know where to focus on, right? Income goals, right? Where am I at? I need to focus on this. So that's the next thing which I did. Now, as I mentioned before, through pinpointing and awareness, what then happens is that I stay alert to what's happening outside of myself, in the universe, if you want to call it that, and looking out for opportunities which will come. Because the minute I focus, because life is there to help you, by the way. Life isn't there to pull you down. Life is there to help you step into a bigger you, a bigger possibility of who you think you can become. So stay alert for those things coming in from the outside, and they'll be there, I guarantee you, right? Stay alert. Meditation's great for this as well during the step. Meditating helps us slow ourselves down so we don't miss stuff, right? So I definitely encourage that. And then of course, it's taking action. So when these things come in, it's taking action. Now yesterday to the group, I spoke about visualization. Check out a previous video on visualization. I go into it in big amounts of detail. But it's like what happens is that, in the brain, right, you'll actually create an electrical impulse that triggers a feedback loop. And that's what gives you your same response. That's why it's so hard to change. So what happens is that as you go through this process of awareness, you create a distance in the time between stimuli, what pushes your button, and response, right? Which is normally a reaction, right? But the more aware you become, it extends out that time. The more you extend out the time, the more time you have to choose a different outcome. And this is where visualization comes in, because on the one hand, every time you give yourself that awareness, that feedback loop in the brain is breaking down, is breaking down. Visualization creates a new one in its place. A new loop that's actually supporting you to step into your new possibility, right? So the two act in tandem. So that 10-second movie, visualizing on, the outcome, which shows you've been successful, before you go to bed and before you get up. In other words, before you get up, you run that 10-second movie, as many of the emotions, as many of the senses involved, the better. And before your feet touch the ground, you want to have a smile on your face. You run that 10-second movie. Until you have that smile on your face, don't get out of bed. Once you have that smile on your face, get out of bed, right? This is about the action step, all right? And one other thing in there, in the empathy test, right? I called it the Trump test. Now this is an interesting one, because I find that people, even myself, let's put me in there, I find it easier to have empathy for other people than I do for myself. I find it easier to have empathy, not sympathy, empathy for other people than I do for myself. So here it is, right? So when I say Trump to you, a lot of people have a very visceral reaction to that. Now here's the thing. If you cannot have empathy for other people, then the chances are you will find it very difficult to have empathy for yourself. If you don't have empathy for yourself, not sympathy, empathy, then you will probably find it difficult to cut that anchor, because you're locked into your thoughts, your patterns, your emotions, right? You're locked into that feedback mechanism that's still running right now. So with Trump, a way to get into empathy is, like study him. 0 to 7, what was his life like? What was his parents like? What's the relationship with his kids like? How are they brought up? What are they like as people? Right? Ignore what you hear in mainstream media, because come on, if we all really truly believe in mainstream media now for all of our news, then I think you need to look at that, right? Let's be honest. Am I saying that it's all corrupt? No, not necessarily, but let's be honest, right? I mean, I'm not going to go into that now, but you know what I'm trying to say. So my point is that do your own research. Check him out. I'm not saying you've got to love Trump. I'm not saying you've got to like Trump. I'm not saying you shouldn't hate Trump. I'm not saying any of that. But what I'm saying is empathy. Empathy is the courage to stand in someone else's shoes and see how that fits and see how that can change your awareness of that person. 0 to 7, we're in the theta brainwave state, all of us. We're like a sponge for our caregivers, the thoughts, emotions, intentions behind how they live their life. We take that on. 7 onwards, we have the RAS, the reticular activating system, kick in. And that then, that seals our fate, right? Because then it filters in all the images and people and places and resources, right? That basically validate that unconscious bias we've developed between 0 and 7. And for most people, they go on for that for the rest of their lives, not ever waking up, unless they have a near-death experience or have a serious reason to question themselves, right? So we're all stuck into that loop. So if we're able, right, to shake that by seeing empathy, by having empathy for someone who we don't necessarily like, then a greater opportunity we have to see that within ourselves and to really let go of shit that we don't need and step into our possibility. right? Last thing, I call it the clock. You've heard me discuss it before. Like 12 to 2, that's what we know, our name, where we live, car we drive, bike we drive, bicycle we drive, whatever it is. That's 12 to 2. 2 to 4 is like the stuff that I know that I don't know. Algebra, nuclear fission, right? I know that I don't know this stuff, right? Then 4 to 12, all of that area is, this is what I don't know that I don't know. What I don't know that I don't know. Last time, I don't know what I don't know. All of this is going back. That's where your unconscious biases lie. So this work of empathy that I call the Trump test is getting right into that area, because it focuses you and it causes you to question things that you don't want to question. But if you're not prepared to do that, then you're probably not prepared to do what it takes to step into the new possibility of who you can be. Right? It's my opinion. My opinion. Don't have to agree with me. But what I'm saying is that if this resonates with you, try it on for size. If this disgusts you, or you have a really visceral reaction to this, try it on for size. Right? Because again, it's the ability to which we can cut the anchor from the past, to which we can step into the new possibility of who we can become in the future. All right, guys, that's it for me. Have a great day. See you on the next one. Bye for now.